Peesh-san, do you have any advice on getting better with illustrations like the one on the screen? Well, it's pretty straightforward. You gotta study how to draw characters or things, quote unquote things, in a specific setting. It's like studying three things, right? You gotta learn how to draw the background, which requires you to understand lighting, perspective, forms, texture, composition, etc. Also, you also need to learn how to draw the character itself. Like only this, like only the character. But I think you already know. So now the last thing, the third thing that you have to do is to just put it together, which is you just draw them in the setting, which is easier said than done. A lot of the time it's like easier said than done. Like it's a very simple concept, but when you actually do it, it's easier said than done. But let me explain it in like a very simplified way, right? Anyone can draw a square. Anyone can draw a square, no problem. Doesn't matter if it's a perfect square or just a rough square. Anyone can do this. Maybe even a baby can do this. But a cube, maybe it's like slightly more challenging. Like, you know, you can draw like a 3D cube in different angles and shit. So there you're starting to learn form. This is shape. This is form. Now you want to put something on the form, which maybe, you know, like this. And then you put like maybe a sphere on this form. You put like a sphere like that. Yoink. If you do it just like that, you're just gonna like, what the fuck is that? It's just lines and shit. And then you try to put lighting. Wow, you now have lighting and shit. You just put lighting there that somehow hopefully makes sense. Right? So now you learn lighting. Now this one is like kind of random. So you want to learn like how to properly use perspective. So maybe you learn 2-point perspective. Now you understand the purpose of vanishing points and like the horizon line. So you learn that, and now you can draw things in proper perspective. And then you also maybe put some lighting in there. Why not? So now you want to make it look good. You learn about, let's say, the most basic composition of all, which is rule of thirds. And then now you try to make things interesting. You put the cube here, and then you put the sphere here, something like that, right? Now it's starting to look more of a picture. It's more of a picture than a thing, right? It's picturesque, kind of like that, right? And then you try to understand what lighting would look good on this thing, right? So maybe you put like dramatic lighting like this, and then make the background like slightly dark, blah blah blah, and then there's like a source of light here, and then this sphere is like in shadow, but there's like a silhouette of light kind of thing, right? Like kind of going on. So now you're learning composition. Wow, composition. All right, but keep in mind this is all in black and white. So it's also another thing to learn it to learn to draw it in color. You have to like give consideration to colors. And then now take this example, but think of the sphere as your character instead, and the cube is whatever your character is on, like the background. So now it starts to make sense, right? Now it's an illustration. Now you can apply that to like this one. So just think of this as the cube, and then you put the character there. Right? So that's basically how the journey of learning to draw these stuffs happen. You go through all this, and maybe some other stuff that I didn't mention, like values, texture, etc. There's a lot of more things that I skipped, but this is pretty much the gist of it, right? That's like the journey of learning how to do illustrations like this.